John 15. Jesus goes, I am the true grapevine. No, not the songs, I heard it through the grapevine. Imagine that vine is throughout all of mankind, throughout all 7.5 billion people of the world that is present today. That is a big vine. Whether you serve God or whether you don't, you are still connected to that vine. Amen. By one way only, because God created you. Amen. You have still yet to connect to it in words of producing, but that comes through salvation. But every man is connected to Jesus, whether they want to believe it or not. Amen. And so Jesus says that I am the true grapevine. But before we go any further, I want to establish that Jesus is the true vine. You know, for him to say that, he's implying, now listen to this, he's implying that there is a false vine. He's saying that there's many vines out there, but there's only one that comes from my Father. And he says, and I am the true grapevine. It implies that there is a false vine. The false vine is the devil. You see, the devil set up his kingdom to be an exact duplication of God's kingdom. He has file and rank and orders. He has generals and archangels. He has archdemons. He has all the things that God has. And then he wants the supreme rulership of his kingdom, of his dominion. He is a fraud and a duplicator of all that is created in heaven. Besides that, he knew how God set up his order. He's so good that he comes as a wolf in sheep clothing. He's so good that he sits in every church. He's so good that he knows how to manipulate you with the word of God, such as he said, did God really say? He's so good, he was able to get into Cain to slay his brother over an offering. He's so good that he gets all kinds of people throughout the history of time to turn against God. He's so good that he went to God and asked him, could he turn Job out? He's so good that he went to Jesus on his 40-day fast and tempted him 3 times to his face. Let me tell you, we face a formidable foe. He is the worst enemy that we will ever face. He's so good, he can make you doubt God by doing nothing. He's so good, he can turn you against God by just using life. Just life. And God forbid you have a circumstance. God forbid you have a disaster. God forbid you have a heartache. God forbid you go through some troubles. God forbid you have anything that has to do with life and life itself. But the first thing we all do is blame it on God. Amen. He's so good that he can get you to deceive your own self.
Oh yeah, okay.
No matter what you believe, beloved, no matter how close you are to God, how far you are from God, he wants you to know that there is no other way that you can survive, live, and get to heaven but through the true vine. No other way. If there was another way, we wouldn't have all these suicides. If there was another way, all the greatest men and women in the world that have everything that this world, which represents Satan, can give them, still end up taking their lives. If there was no other way, why do we have to get inebriated? Why do we have to numb ourselves? Why do we have to get high on something or numb ourselves to something because we say it's a casual thing we got to do every week? But yet you don't go out and have a casual drink. You go to drink to get drunk. What are you inebriating? What is your life that's so intoxicating that you cannot stand to be sober? It's the deception and the confusion that's inside of you about the true grapevine of Jesus. See, I'm saying all this because I'm setting it up that you are a branch. We all are his branches. But we can get disconnected from the vine. When Jesus established this, he's implying that there is a false vine. In other words, we belong to one vine, listen to this, or the other. I know, you thought If I don't belong to Jesus, I definitely don't belong to the other vine, the false vine. I just get to stay in the middle, where I'm safe. You see, you cannot be in the middle. What does God say about you being in the middle? He says that you got to choose. He says if you lukewarm, he'll spew you out of his mouth. God can't stand people that want to be in the middle because he knows there's no such thing as the middle. He says the middle was made by your own self. Self-deception. Well, I don't really have to serve God. I don't really have to serve the devil. I'll just serve myself. Oh yeah. What do we call that? That's called that New Age teaching. That's called that Illuminati. I am a God. Amen. So I can make up my own rules. Amen. That means I don't do that and I don't do this, but I just do me. There's false vines out there. Amen. And they can come from anything. Your society, your upbringing, your mothers, your fathers, your brothers and sisters, your friends, any type of influence that don't believe in God. They can come from the enemy himself if he sees that you're that much of a threat. But a lot of times he ain't got to do nothing because we're so good at deceiving ourselves through our own selfish pleasures, and then we deny that there's no such God because why would this happen? He goes on to say that, in other words, we belong to one vine or another, and we bring forth fruit, one kind or another. Either way, you are going to bear fruit. Either way, you're going to bear fruit. Either way, you'll be connected to some vine or another. And then he goes on to say this, in my Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the one who is the Alpha and Omega, Father God, Yahweh, Elohim, Jehovah, Adonai, that guy, he is the gardener. Who do you think planted that vineyard? The gardener. He cultivates the garden. So when Jesus says, I am the true grapevine and my Father is the gardener, that means what is God? God is the owner of that grapevine. He manages that grapevine. He cultivates it. He prunes it. He trains it. He works the garden. He works the land. He gets it prepared. He puts it in the right climate. He gives it water. He gives it sun. He comes and trims it. He makes sure that it's going to bear fruit. And he keeps it connected to his son who is connected to him. So it's all one big organization. Verse 2. It says, he cuts off every branch of mine that does not produce fruit. And when you think about what he does, when he cuts you off, that is a form of cultivating. What cultivating means is this. He prepares and uses. He breaks up the old soil. Your old life represents your old soil. Some of our old life is hard ground, huh? My daddy raised me this way. My mama raised me this way. I'm just hardened by the system. I'm hardened by words of life. And yet you come to God and you need cultivating. You still think the way you used to think. You still act the way you used to act. You still talk the way you used to talk. You still do the same old things you used to do, but yet you want to be connected to the true vine. But you still want to go and do all the things that connect you to the false vine. So you want to have the false vine and the good vine. And then you're like this. And so God goes, you know what, Jesus, this fool ain't doing that. Because that's the gardener. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to cut off every branch that doesn't bear anything. And listen, as the gardener works his magic, as the gardener prunes and grooms, he breaks up the old soil so that he can become new soil for planting, so he can make you fertile. He raises up the vineyard, he grows it, he maintains its life. What is this life talking about? I'm talking about your spiritual life. You see, even though we're using the analogy of grapes and vines and all this thing, we're only talking one thing, spirit. We're only talking about you spiritually. We're only talking about me spiritually. We're only talking about the things of the spirit because that's what Jesus talked about. But he used the things of the world, the things of the flesh, to teach you the things of the spirit. So spiritually, God is asking today, what vine are you connected to, my son and daughter? It doesn't matter where you are today, because that's not where you're going to be tomorrow.